Right now, corporate executives across the globe are basically handing out artificial intelligence software licenses like candy. Welcome, everyone, to TechDaily.ai. I'm your host, David.
And I'm Sophia. It's really great to be here today.
You can sponsor this podcast for just $25. Your message will be featured across major platforms like Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and more. If you're interested, visit TechDaily.ai to get started today.
Which honestly is an incredible deal if you want to reach this audience.
It really is. Okay, so let's unpack this massive corporate illusion we were just touching on.
Yeah, the AI illusion. It's everywhere right now.
Right, because usually when you talk about adopting new tech in a business, there's this very clear deterministic expectation. Like you buy accounting software, it manages your ledger.
Right, exactly. You click a button, you get a defined result. It's very clean.
Very clean and very comforting. But then you step into the current AI landscape, and suddenly that logic is completely thrown out the window.
Because AI is probabilistic, not deterministic. And we're looking at a corporate environment right now that is, frankly, just frantic.
Frantic is the perfect word for it. You have these ambitious leaders handing out licenses for complex generative tools to their teams with the incredibly vague instruction to just, see what it can do.
Which is just a total abdication of strategy. When leadership does that, they're confusing access to a tool with actually having a business plan.
Right. And then the inevitable happens. 6 months later, the billing cycle hits, and leadership looks around the boardroom and asks, wait, what did we actually get for all this money?
And the answer is almost always underwhelming. I mean, they get a few scattered productivity hacks, maybe some slightly faster email drafting.
And a massive amount of organizational confusion.
Exactly. Just total chaos.
So for you, the listener, our mission today is to cut through all that overwhelming hype. We're looking at why companies rush into this adoption process the wrong way.
And more importantly, we're going to walk through 3 highly practical strategic questions or prompts that companies absolutely must ask themselves before attempting any sort of tech transformation.
Yeah, these are the questions you have to ask before you spend a single dollar. So let's start with what you call the sequence problem.
Right. So the biggest mistake companies make right out of the gate is starting with the tools rather than starting with clarity of purpose.
The sequence problem. I love that phrasing because it really feels like everyone just wants to jump straight to the finish line,
They want the sweeping transformation initiative, and mostly because they want the sexy board slide, honestly.
Oh, totally. They want to show investors they're cutting edge.
Right. So you end up with people in the room aggressively pushing for autonomous agents, which are, AI programs meant to run complex tasks without a human clicking next at every stage.
Or they want to build custom models, right?
Yeah.
Spending millions to train an AI from the ground up on their own private data.
Meanwhile, their underlying data is a complete disaster. I mean, they haven't even cleaned up their basic customer relationship management systems.
It's wild. They want to deploy autonomous agents, but they don't even know if their sales numbers from last quarter are actually accurate.
Exactly. They are trying to run a marathon before they even know how to tie their shoes. Establishing clarity before buying tools does not sound exciting.
No, data hygiene does not make headlines.
It really doesn't. But it is the only place where real progress starts. I mean, time, capital, and execution matter immensely. Good strategic prompts aren't magic, but they force better, more rigorous thinking.
I was thinking about this sequence problem. I came up with an analogy. It feels exactly like someone waking up on a Tuesday, deciding they want to get in shape, and immediately going out to buy, like, $10,000 worth of elite professional-grade gym equipment.
Oh, I've absolutely seen people do this in real life.
Right. They buy the massive power rack, the specialized kettlebells, the Olympic barbells. They fill their entire garage with this top-of-the-line gear.
But they don't have a workout plan.
Exactly. They have no plan, no diet. They don't even know what sport they're trying to train for. Are they running a marathon, trying to power lift? Do they just want to lose 10 pounds?
They have absolutely no direction, just heavy metal sitting in a garage.
Exactly. The gear doesn't grant you the discipline to use it.
And if you walk into that $10,000 garage gym without a structured plan, you're going to end up doing like a few random bicep curls, pulling a muscle, and then ignoring the equipment for 6 months while it collects dust.
Which is exactly what happens with these enterprise software licenses. So we need a workout plan. We need direction. And that brings us to the first of the 3 strategic prompts.
Right. Prompt number 1.
Prompt number 1 is, where are we burning time on work that does not create value?
This is the critical diagnostic question because it immediately cuts through the noise. It targets something that every single company struggles with, which is internal drag.
Internal drag. Tell me what that actually looks like on the ground.
Well, I'm not just talking about obvious, mundane admin tasks. I'm talking about the workflows that have become so deeply normalized within a company's culture that employees don't even question them anymore.
It's considered the way we do things here, right?
Exactly. It's the manual report building at the end of every week where an analyst pulls data from 3 different
Oh,
platforms.
I've been that analyst. It's awful.
It's terrible. Or it's sales reps rewriting the exact same customer follow-up emails over and over again. Or, my personal favorite, digging through 3 months of Slack messages just to find the context of a single project decision.
Oh man, the Slack archaeology. We have all been there,
Yeah.
endlessly scrolling, searching for that one thread from October. It is incredibly soul-crushing.
It totally drains morale. And it just continues across departments. It's copying notes from a personal doc into the CRM, rebuilding presentation decks from scratch because the master template got moved to some random folder.
Or pulling together meeting prep by opening 5 different browser tabs and copying metrics into one document.
Right. And when you list it all out like that, it sounds exhausting.
It does. But individually, day to day, none of those tasks look particularly dangerous, right? It's just 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there.
But cumulatively, they become a massive tax on growth. And here's where we need to explain how the technology actually solves this. Because old software relied on rigid keyword searches.
Right, you had to type the exact phrase in Slack to find anything.
Exactly. But modern AI uses semantic understanding. It understands the context and intent of the language.
So instead of just looking for the word budget, it understands that a conversation about cutting spending for Q3 is financially related.
Yes, which means it can instantly synthesize that scattered context for you. But, and this is a really vital caveat, this only works if the company identifies the actual friction first.
Right, if you don't ask where you are burning time, your team will just start automating random tasks instead of attacking the specific workflows that are slowing you down.
Exactly. You have to find the real internal drag.
Now, I have to push back here for a second, or at least voice a very common concern. Whenever people hear about eliminating busy work, the immediate visceral reaction is fear.
Oh, of course. People instantly jump to job replacements.
Yeah, they think, oh, leadership is going to automate my workflow and fire me.
We really have to address that head on because assuming this is just about replacing people is the incredibly lazy version of the conversation.
Walk me through why that's the lazy version.
Yeah.
Because to a lot of people, the math just seems simple. Less work equals fewer jobs.
Well, it fundamentally misunderstands the value of human capital. The much sharper question we should be asking is, where are our genuinely good, talented people wasting their cognitive energy on work that does not require their judgment?
Work that doesn't require judgment. That is a great distinction.
Right. I mean, if you hire a brilliant strategic planner or a highly empathetic customer service rep, their value to the company is in their judgment, their emotional intelligence.
Their complex problem-solving skills.
Exactly. Their value is not in their ability to copy and paste data between 2 disconnected software platforms. The technology should give these talented people more room to think and to actively sell.
Right, or to navigate those really nuanced customer relationships. Let's look at the alternative. If you just deploy this tech without fixing the core workflows, you just produce more internal noise.
Yeah, you haven't actually improved the business. You've just made your mess more efficient,
You're just generating useless weekly reports at the speed of light.
which is exactly the opposite of value creation.
I actually want to pause here and ask you, the listener, to reflect on your own week for a second. Think about your last 5 working days. How much of your time was trapped navigating disconnected systems?
Probably more than you want to admit.
Exactly. How many hours did you spend doing work that didn't actually utilize your unique skills or your creativity? Because for most professionals, that percentage is uncomfortably high.
And exposing that hidden tax is exactly what prompt number 1 accomplishes. Once you find that internal drag, you can actually point the tech at a real problem.
Okay, so let's say we do that. We successfully use AI to stop digging through Slack. We automate the data entry. We buy back, say, 5 hours a week for every employee.
Which is huge.
It is. But here is the trap. Having more time doesn't magically make you a better, more competitive company if you are still making terrible, slow decisions with that newly acquired time.
Oh, absolutely.
So how do we point this technology at our decision-making process? Which brings us to prompt number 2. What decisions are we making too slowly because the right information is too hard to find.
This is where the conversation really elevates from mere efficiency to core strategy because, look,
Yeah.
most companies do not lack data. They are absolutely drowning in it.
Right, they have dashboards for their dashboards.
Exactly. What they actually suffer from is a decision speed bottleneck.
Explain the mechanics of that bottleneck. Why does everything slow down when we ostensibly have more data than ever before?
It happens because the information required to make a critical choice exists, but it's entirely fragmented across different silos.
Like usage metrics buried in a dashboard no one checks.
Right. Or customer sentiment sitting in some massive spreadsheet on a shared drive. Or, and this is the most dangerous scenario, it's locked inside the brain of the one essential person in the company who happens to be on a 2-week vacation.
Oh, the dreaded single point of failure. We can't decide on this client renewal until Dave gets back from Hawaii.
Yes, and because of that fragmentation, momentum just dies. Sales leaders can't figure out why deals are stalling out until it's too late.
And executives only get lagging indicators. They find out what happened last quarter instead of getting actionable signals about what is happening right now.
Exactly. And what does a typical corporate culture do when they don't have clarity?
They schedule a meeting.
They schedule dozens of meetings,
Wow.
status updates, cross-functional syncs, more emails saying, just circling back on this.
Oh, the circling back emails, they are the worst. All that expensive time spent just trying to establish a baseline understanding of reality.
Rather than actually deciding what to do about it.
So how does the tech solve this? Is the goal here just to give executives more analytics? Because honestly, if I'm a CEO, the very last thing I want is another complex dashboard with 30 different charts that I have to interpret.
No, and that's a crucial distinction. Leaders already have way too much raw data. What they desperately lack is interpretation.
Interpretation, okay.
This technology sits perfectly at the intersection of data, context, and timing. It bridges the gap between what happened and what it means.
Give me an example of what that synthesis looks like in practice.
Let's look at customer health summaries. Think about how much unstructured data a company collects. You have angry emails to support, call transcripts, casual check-ins.
Right, lots of messy human interaction.
And then you have the structured data. How many times they logged in, when their contract expires. Historically, a human had to manually read the emails, check the dashboard, and try to correlate the two.
Which would take hours for just one account.
Right. But modern tools can ingest all of it simultaneously. The AI can note the escalating frustration in the support tickets over the last 3 weeks and correlate that directly with a 40% drop in daily logins.
Wow.
And then it synthesizes those pieces and generates one clear paragraph. Something like, this client is at high risk of churn because they're experiencing integration errors and stopped using the core feature.
That is incredible. It's shortening the distance between a raw signal and a strategic action. Instead of a manager spending 3 days investigating a hunch, they get the narrative immediately.
Which allows them to intervene today instead of next month. And in business, faster decisions compound. Better, faster decisions compound exponentially.
Okay, so prompt 1 clears out the busy work. Prompt 2 speeds up the decision-making bottleneck.
Oh.
But if we stop right there, we are still entirely inward-looking.
Yes, we're just optimizing our own internal machine.
Right. Speed is inward, but growth has to be outward. Which leads us to the final piece of the puzzle. Prompt number 3. Where can AI help us create revenue, not just save time?
And this is the prompt that way too many companies actively avoid, largely because it forces them out of their comfort zone.
Why avoid it, though? It seems like making money would be the absolute first thing any executive would want to do.
Because saving time is relatively easy to measure, Reducing operational costs is straightforward math. But if the tech only ever lives in that efficiency bucket, leadership will eventually just view it as another standard IT tool.
Right. It becomes useful, sure, but not transformational.
Exactly. You have to ask the commercial question. How can this technology uncover net new revenue streams?
I want to push on this a bit because earlier we talked about AI helping sales reps draft follow-up emails faster. But isn't that just prompt 1 again? Doing marketing busy work faster isn't necessarily creating a new revenue stream.
That is an excellent distinction. Doing the old things faster is just efficiency. Net new revenue means using the AI's ability to process massive amounts of data to uncover opportunities that humans couldn't realistically process at scale.
Okay, I need an example of that. What does that actually look like?
Imagine a mid-sized software company. Over the course of a year, their sales team loses hundreds of deals.
Sure.
Normally, a sales rep clicks lost to competitor in the CRM, maybe leaves a one-sentence note, and moves on. That data just goes to a graveyard.
Right, because no human has the time to read through 200 hours of lost deal call transcripts to find patterns. Everyone is too busy chasing the next quarter's pipeline.
Exactly, but you can unleash an AI model on those transcripts. The AI analyzes the conversational data and realizes that in 40% of the lost deals, across different regions, the prospect specifically asked for advanced compliance reporting.
Oh, wow. And the company doesn't currently offer that.
Right, and because the reps are siloed, they didn't realize they were all losing deals for the exact same reason.
That's huge.
The AI aggregates that unstructured feedback, identifies this massive blind spot, and presents leadership with a business case. It essentially says, you left $3 million on the table last year because you don't have this specific compliance feature.
And that gives the product team the exact blueprint to build a new premium tier of service that is net new revenue driven by AI analysis.
Exactly.
Okay, that is incredibly powerful. But I do have to issue a warning here. I can see a massive danger when companies try to chase this revenue.
Oh, the panic feature stuffing.
Yes, you have a company under immense pressure from their board to, be an AI company. So they panic. And instead of doing the deep analytical work you just described, they just start forcing AI features into their core product, whether it makes sense or not.
Which brings us to the concept of AI theater.
AI theater, break that down because I feel like we are seeing this everywhere right now.
We really are. AI theater is when a company slaps an AI-powered label on a feature simply because the market is hot and they want to look innovative to investors.
Right, like adding a flashy generative chatbot to a simple calendar app.
Exactly. When all the user wants to do is just click a date, the feature doesn't actually solve a complex problem. It's just a shiny button that often ends up hallucinating.
Okay, for those not deep in the tech jargon, when we say the AI hallucinates, what does that actually mean?
It means the AI confidently makes up fake or entirely illogical information because generative AI operates by predicting the next most likely word rather than actually comprehending facts.
So if it lacks context, it just invents an answer that sounds plausible but is completely wrong.
Right. And if your shiny new feature starts hallucinating data for your clients, you aren't creating revenue, you are destroying trust.
It's like a smart toaster that uses an advanced algorithm to send you a text message that your bread is warm. Nobody asked for that. It solves a problem that doesn't exist.
That is the perfect example. Let's look at the alternative, which is AI value. AI value is determined by a very strict, unforgiving standard.
Which is what?
Does the customer's life genuinely get easier? Does their operational risk drop? Does their speed to market improve?
Do their actual financial results get better?
Exactly. If the initiative doesn't help the customer achieve an outcome they already deeply care about, it's not a strategy, it's just noise. Customers do not want to buy AI. They want to buy better outcomes.
So what does this all mean when we pull the threads together? If we look at the entire landscape we've mapped out today, it seems like the biggest mistake a company can make isn't starting small. Actually, starting small and highly focused seems incredibly smart.
Very smart. The real mistake is starting randomly,
Starting randomly with 20 disconnected experiments across 5 different departments.
with absolutely no connection to a core operating strategy. That is a guaranteed recipe for wasted capital, frustrated customers, and burned out employees.
But by using these 3 strategic prompts, where are we burning time on non-value work? What decisions are we making too slowly? And where can we uncover net new revenue? A company essentially builds a practical, grounded roadmap.
They aren't writing some bloated 50-page digital transformation document that no one will ever read.
Right. They're connecting the technology directly to their daily operating performance.
Ultimately, this technology should be a force multiplier for a company that is already disciplined. It should not be a shiny toy that distracts leadership from the hard, unglamorous work of actually running the business well.
The nuts and bolts.
Exactly. The organizations that are going to win in this new era won't necessarily be the ones with the most expensive custom models or the fanciest tech stack.
Right.
They are going to be the ones asking the best questions, applying semantic analysis to their real bottlenecks, and flat out refusing to confuse mere activity with real progress.
Refusing to confuse activity with progress. That brings me right back to that guy in his garage with the $10,000 worth of elite gym equipment.
It really does.
The equipment alone won't make him an athlete. Pacing around the garage, looking at the barbells, is just activity. The intentions, the discipline, and the specific workout plan, that is what actually creates the physical transformation.
And artificial intelligence is just the newest, most advanced set of equipment we've ever had access to.
Very well said. As we wrap up today, I want to leave you, our listener, with a final thought to mull over, something that builds on the implications of everything we've discussed today.
Uh-huh.
As this technology continues its rapid march forward, as it effortlessly automates our routine tasks, as it synthesizes incredibly complex, unstructured data sets faster than a human mind ever could, it forces a mirror up to all of us.
It really does.
When the administrative busywork is entirely gone, and the data is perfectly organized and interpreted for you, what is the core human judgment, the deep emotional acuity, or the specific storytelling capability that makes you uniquely valuable in a room full of machines?
That is the profound question we all need to be asking ourselves as we move forward.
Absolutely. Thank you all for joining us on this exploration. Keep asking the right questions, and we'll see you next time.